Hi everyone, welcome to Entrepreneur Excel Expert Spotlight. And Entrepreneur Excel is a community of entrepreneurs. We are connecting over 70,000 entrepreneurs across different social media platforms. And I am Darsha Jatakia, your host for today. I'm a social media coach and I offer social media solutions through my training and management services. I assist entrepreneurs and businesses in growing organically by developing effective marketing strategies for their profiles. And today we have for our expert spotlight, we have our expert, Mr. Gaurav Kumar. He is a scale up abundance coach and Amazon best-selling author of Brain Hacker 1.0. In last 30 months, he have worked with more than 8,000 individuals across four startups. Now, as I'm reading his intro, I'm feeling so excited to get into conversation with him, and he is helping these these individuals to achieve their goals through instant money recovery and transformational sales growth in maximum 90 days and minimum 24 hours. Now, isn't that something really exciting? And let's welcome him on board. Welcome, Gaurav, and we are great to have you.
Thank you so much, DJ. I'm super duper excited to be here on your stage. Thank you so much for having me.
So, without wasting any time, now I'm getting really excited. So we'll dive into our, Q and A's. And my very first question is: when I was reading your intro, Gaurav, it says that you have helped individuals recover money within 24 hours. Now that is a really huge claim. Can you tell us more about it?
Okay. How will you take it when I say that this is what I'm not claiming? This is what
I assume there is a glitch.
money as a 24-hour score. Okay, can you hear me now? I think that audio is back. So yeah, I
Yeah,
there was some glitch, I guess. So yeah, so
yeah,
let
no
me
worries.
ask you. Let me ask you this question: that when someone is claiming like this, what does it happen? Do you also want this kind of result, or you just wonder whether it is possible or not? What could be the answer for you? Whether you want it or you continue to wonder that whether it is possible.
No, no,
So let me give the
obviously I
answer.
want it, of course.
Okay. So what exactly happens means I have gone a very, groundbreaking journey. Okay. And that time I was discovering that there must be a framework. People are claiming that something is possible. They can attract and do and have and be whatever that they want. But how it is possible? So I did my 18 years of research on mind power and brain power and mind science as well. There I discovered some framework and I applied it on my candidates initially in 2020, and they came up with the result. Means like I generally do a 2 days of boot camp. Okay, so one day gone over for 5 hours, and the second day I before they could join, they were just practicing the techniques I shared with them. One person came, and DJ, what they said, that they recovered their 7 lakhs of stuck money. That was the first breakthrough and aha moment for me that my candidate was stealing that. And then it continued to happen. So almost 116, how many? 116 people are there, my paid clients are there, who got similar kind of result. And then they requested, if we are getting result in 24 hours and within that frame, why don't you teach that openly to everyone? Because initially I was reluctant to call it, as you said, that is a huge claim. So when I had 116 testimonial, I became relaxed and I said, okay, go ahead. And then that's the reason I shared that with you. I think I answered your first question, DJ. Did I? I think there is some glitch, but before I tune in, I don't know the glitch is from which end. Um, so I'll continue still. Okay, I see that DJ has dropped, but let me clearly tell you that what is happening, what happens, what I teach, how come people get the result within 24 hours. So, DJ, I had lost you, so you came back.
I
So,
came back running.
did you hear the answer? Did I share
Yes,
that? Did you?
heard about that, 7 lakhs and how you're helping your, fellow
160.
people. So that's wonderful, Gaurav. So, you know, but tell me, how is it really possible? How do you teach to get such results?
Yeah. So this is everyone ask. In fact, in this morning itself, I was talking to one women coach. She is from Singapore. Even she was quite curious, and she was asking that how does it happen? And to let you know that that is the thing I teach inside my workshop. So I can't tell immediately that
Obviously,
how
yeah.
does it happen, but what I can say that there are three sciences, three frameworks, and five universal law you need to know to wake up or to start your journey within 24 hours to abundance. So when I do my webinars and all free webinars, when I do 90 minutes free webinar, so this is a kind of a preview to 24 hours to abundance, but also I call it as abundance scaler. And there they understand all the sciences framework and the universal law to get started to 24 hours to abundance. So this is how it is, DJ. Yeah.
This is quite an interesting, it is getting interesting as we are, going over. So you're talking about scaling up abundance. So does it mean growing towards abundance, or how does you define growing? Like, how is it?
Okay, that's a very good question, and thank you so much for asking,
Right?
DJ, this to me. Because whenever we talk about, growth, so growth is tangible, that's right, but that is always one directional. You can work one at a time. Okay, you cannot focus in all area at once. So there should be some secret, there should be some center which will let you grow from all the direction. Okay, so when you talk about the scale up, so scale up gives you the power to grow multifaceted, and this growth happens in multiple way, multifaceted, and from all the direction. That time we start calling it as scale up. Scale up has become the word today that anyone and everyone can start using that, and they in fact are using, but they don't even understand what is the real work behind that, real result behind that, and real framework behind that. So I have mastered with my 3 years of a journey and decoded a push button, and that I call it as an abundance push button. So abundance push button is something which I give it to my clients, my paid clients, who does my 2 days of boot camp. Okay, because that becomes the thing. By pushing that, they can trigger the result,
Ah,
and for that they need to get engaged, and for getting engaged they need to respond to such certain question. And why they need to respond? Because I generally call one universal law I would like to leave over here, that is when you respond you trigger the result. So always
ah,
remember to respond so that you can trigger your own result. So that is another
correct,
key element of it. Yeah.
correct. So that's quite relatable. Like, you have to respond. That's so nice.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
if I may ask, what are the steps to get into having a prosperous or having an abundant lifestyle?
That's the so today the world is working means relentlessly, and in fact everyone they are getting attracted towards the positivity. Do you agree with me this on this? Yeah, everyone is talking about positivity, remain
Right.
positivity, and they are getting even trained on the positivity. So when I talk about journey towards the abundance, this is a three steps journey. Okay, you don't only need to get trained upon the positivity, there is one more step beyond it. You need to
Right.
get trained on that as well so that you can attract prosperity. So reveal over here, let me tell you what are those three steps. The first is that get trained for the positivity so that you can have the bulletproof positivity. The second element is not only get on positivity but also get trained on this. And what is this? The second element is purity. Okay, most neglected and ignored facet it is. People start their journey, they continue to get trained on positivity, they forget about the purity part. Okay,
Right.
they think that this is something which which will happen, or they may not work upon it, they continue to ignore it. So I don't ignore it. So this part is the integral part to start the prosperity. Because when the vacuum gets created, when vacuum gets created, and when it will open, then only air will get its place to come back over here, and it will fill it,
Correct.
if you understand this. What exactly happens in the similar manner, the purity, you get trained upon the purity, you can create some an access, willingness access towards the prosperity. To sum it up quickly, and in the simplified manner, get trained upon positivity, then on purity, and then understand the law of duality, so that you get trained on the prosperity. So it's a PPDP journey. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Wow.
this is how this is 4 steps.
So I believe you have touched base some really great aspects, and the untouched thing कि हम लोग positive रहते हैं, but the other parts are being missing out from our life. And do you teach these things in your 2 days workshop you just spoke about?
Exactly, exactly. So in these 2 days workshop, because it's all about creating result, 24 hours is a huge, and you want to attract this result just within 24 hours. And if I'm talking about this 4 facets and 3 steps, that is the 3 P's, that's positivity, purity, and prosperity. Of
Right.
course, they need to get trained to see that result by their own eyes. I keep on getting surprised when these people come. Means 5 hours get over on day one. I leave them with some assignment to complete, and before I could start with the day two at 11 o'clock, and that too on Sunday, they come up with the result and tell me, "Sir, I
Wow.
have this kind of breakthrough." My brain gets fried to believe in this, that students are getting this kind of result. And I think this should not be this cannot be made hidden for longer, because people are bubbling up to get such result, I think. So yeah,
True,
so
I'm
these
sure
things
many
are
of us are stuck with these kind of problems in our life, and maybe we don't know where to seek help from.
Hmm.
So that's really great. So you keep teaching, or you also do some research and some training. And what are the major aspects you love to talk about?
Yeah, so I believe that before you become a teacher and teach something, you must to become a great student. And I feel proud saying this, DJ, and share with you that I believe that becoming the best student can give you the license to becoming somewhere a better teacher. So I believe in first becoming the best student. I'm learning from the best and best and best in the industry. Few of them you have already interviewed. Okay, you have interviewed Siddharth Rajsekar. I'm learning from him. I'm sure that someday I would be the instrument to bring Mac Atram on this platform with you. So
Wow.
I'm learning from him. So yeah, so I'm directly getting coached by him. I'm also learning from Blair Singer. He's known as the magician directly, and there is a plan to get coached by four renowned global speakers on one-on-one basis in the coming month. So these kind of plans are there. I'm continuously getting trained, so my training is always going on so that I can teach better. If I learn better, that gives me license to teach better. That's what I believe in. I hope you can relate with
Yes, yes,
this.
absolutely. As we have done few courses together, so I'm
Yes,
sure
absolutely.
one needs to be a better student, and then a better teacher. It comes hand in hand.
Exactly.
So I truly agree
Exactly.
to this. So one last question, Gaurav, before we end up the slide. There are many coaches that, in fact, there are a lot of abundance coaches around, and I think they talk more about personal development and working on self. So do you include these factors also in your teaching, or how is it?
That's a great question, and thank you so much for asking. So, yeah, there are multiple abundance coaches, and yeah, a personal development part cannot be ignored, because people talk about there is any result can be achieved by covering the journey between 2 years. Okay, and the journey between 2 years is our brain, our mindset. People keep on listening about having a kick-ass positivity, I will call it, having a kick-ass positivity, but how to build it. So few clients who come it, they are clueless, that they don't have even idea about personality development and all. So I don't call it personality development, it's all about your own self development. So there is slight change and slight difference between personality as well as your own self, your higher self, because there is some role model, and you yourself become, your higher self become the role model, and you have a plan to achieve that. You are going to talk to your future self how you can
Right.
pull that in the present, and let him work towards on your own self so that you can have result. So there is complete engineering done towards these kind of workshop teachings and all. Then only I share with my student. This is how
Wow.
it was. Thank you so much for asking this again.
Yes. Great, great. So I said that it's the last question, but I would like to ask one more last question to you, because tell something to our viewers about your, the Brain Hacker 1.0 book. What is that about, and three reasons why they should, read that book.
Okay. Thank you so much for asking this question. Brain Hacker 1.0, 70% is what I underwent. Okay. Although this is the collage of science fiction, suspense, and thriller, this is built as a story. But you know what? It has a deep message on self development side. But along with that, for any abundance creation, it always start with innovation. If someone who loves to create, who there is someone who loves to discover, invent, and innovate, they need to understand how they can do that. There are a hell lot of plethora of inventions are there which are talked inside that book. And if someone who loves to know and explore the more of the discovery and invention, they have got little bit of scientific mindset, they must go through that. Even though they don't have the scientific mindset, they love to learn some science fiction book, this book is for them. So I
Okay.
would say the creation is a way to abundance. If you want to create the abundance, attract the creation. To attract the creation, the book is named as Brain Hacker 1.0. That's
Wow.
what I would call. So
That's great. And I love the name as well, Brain Hacker. Everything is getting hacked. So, the brain has to be hacked at the earliest.
yes, yes, true. At the earliest, you rightly said. This is
Yeah,
one of the
actually.
coded word you have said from there. At the earliest.
Acha, okay. Yes, yes. So, thank you, Gaurav. It was great having you. And our viewers will be adding his contact coordinates in the wall copy post. So, if you are stuck somewhere and if you need his guidance, please do approach him. And if you have any questions, you can post your questions in the comments below. He'll definitely reply to all of them. And it was great having you. Thank you, Gaurav.
Thank you so much, DJ. I really loved with being in your energy. You had wonderful audience, I would say, and I'm always loving to be with you, be with Entrepreneur Excel, because this is all about entrepreneurs. Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you once again. Bye bye.
Thank you.